We are joined here at Media Mix. This is your first mixer?
This is my first mixer.
We are joined by Kerry O'Reilly, the General Manager for TBT. And you have something special to give to him, too.
Yes, I do. Is this your first time on Media Talk?
No.
No.
And Channel Side.
See, good question. Congratulations. Kerry, there you go. Wear it with pride.
Thank you,
And
Rob.
I'm going to take a hat. I'll trade you, okay? Good trade.
I appreciate it. This is nice.
And I don't think I've ever
TBT
seen you in a
ads?
T-shirt. You're a little too young to
Always got
wearing
a tie
ties
on.
every day. Well, TBT, it's exciting for you guys. You came on our show at the onset of TBT, what, 2 years ago?
Yep.
Approximately.
And
2 years ago.
you were deputy marketing chief then?
Something like that.
Of St. Petersburg Times.
Yeah. I
Doing
got drafted
like
from
double
the
time.
I was in the marketing department, and then when we launched TBT, they asked me to come on over and help out with that, so I've been doing it ever since.
Well, tell us about it. Tell us what it started from and what it is now, if you don't mind.
Sure. In September of 2004, gosh, it seems so long ago now.
Yeah, it does.
We launched as a weekly, and we thought, let's give this a shot and try to do something to reach 25 to 39-year-olds. And the newsroom put together something great that really was attractive to a lot of people in the area. We had 75,000 copies a week and about 1,500 distribution points. So it began to pick up momentum. Advertisers liked it and got results, and readers tended to like it, and we had a lot of fun doing it. So we thought, okay, well, let's try and do this 5 days a week.
Right.
And
yeah,
it was
let's really stick ourselves out there.
Yeah, it was a huge risk.
Well, can I ask you a question? I mean, honestly, and don't be mad at me, but when TBT first came out, it was primarily advertisers with a couple of stories in it. And then, I mean, it got better and better and thicker. So, I mean, what it is now, it's so much information that people want to read. I think it's awesome what you guys have done.
Yeah.
And you guys have done a great job promoting it, too. I mean, that's all I want to
Well, I
say.
think the wonderful part is obviously the distribution channels that the St. Petersburg Times has in order to be able to help the success of getting it out there. But what's the philosophy behind the magazine? Because the creative loafing out there has a very firm hold in the marketplace as an alternative newspaper. Where does TBT land in the middle?
We're just like you said, we're kind of in the middle. People tell us that they like us because we're kind of a blend between your typical alternative weekly, like you'd find with creative loafing, and the daily newspaper like the St. Petersburg Times. So some people say we're kind of like a print version of the Daily Show or the Colbert Report, which is a nice comparison.
And you guys have saturated the Tampa market as well, too. How did you guys do that?
Well, we knew that the key to the success would be getting it in the hands of people and making it easy for them to get it. And that's going to drive results for advertisers and then fuel the machine to continue to grow. So we made a big investment as the St. Petersburg Times to make sure it was easy to get a copy of TBT.
Well, I do have to share a funny story with you. Jeff McCown and I were walking into the Hillsborough Commission building downtown Franklin Street on the corner, pouring rain, and there's a real pretty girl handing out the TBT, drenching rat in the soaking rain. So hats off to you guys.
Thank you.
How many distribution points do you have now? I mean, you're over 1,500 now, right?
Oh yeah, we're over 3,000 now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
so tell us about the growth till today. I mean,
yeah,
it's only 2 years.
To kind of
That's
catch
nothing.
you up, yeah.
I know, to catch us up.
In March of this past year, we converted to a daily, and we were publishing about 245,000 copies a week. We just hit over 320,000 copies a week. So growth has been unprecedented. We are the second fastest growing daily newspaper in the country behind the New York Post, which is distributing nationwide. So if you looked at it on a percentage basis, not to get too geeky on you.
No, get geeky, because that's cool stuff. I love the statistics.
Yeah. We're the fastest growing newspaper in the country, and possibly the universe in the world. But the results still coming in on
Mars
that
out
one.
there.
What about the web component of it as all? Because you have to have that traditional has to go along with some kind of URL. How do you see the success in that being? Is it growing? Is it there?
It's there. There's room for growth. To be honest, we found a good niche with our photo galleries online, where people can go and find out what happened over the weekend and see their friends out at events at our photo galleries online. And so we bounce people from the print publication to the website by giving them a taste of the photos, and then they can see more online.
Do you share some of the reporters on St. Pete Times too, or are these all your own reporters and journalists that are doing your stories?
We share a lot of resources between the St. Pete Times and TBT. We only have 2 dedicated reporters working on TBT, and they write a lot of the feature stories on Fridays.
Well, would it if you were looking for like, people to write stories and stuff like that, couldn't you just sort of bump over to the people that worked at Orange? Oh no, I'm kidding.
What do you
I don't
think
mean
of
it like that, but
Yeah.
give us an insight on possibly the
demise of
the
Orange.
demise or the lack of success, possibly. I mean,
They had a challenge coming in. Like you said, Rob, Creative Loafing was firmly established in the marketplace. TBT came after them. Then now there are several other publications, and so when you're not first to the market, you're really clawing for attention and readers, and so to come in when they did was tough. And I give them credit for taking on
Trying.
a unique voice, which is what they had to do to differentiate from what was already out there. Unfortunately, there's only so much distribution, and there's only so much
Well,
time
can I
for
ask you a
people to read.
question on that?
That's exactly what it is.
Let me ask you a question on that. Do you think that, and this is your opinion, I'm just going to ask you a question, that maybe Media General didn't let them go as edgy as they wanted to? I mean, because St. Pete Times is a little more lenient with their younger staff. I mean,
I don't think that was a problem, honestly.
because they were kind of brash in that paper. Had
Yeah,
it
they
was
were.
so explicit, and it had the photos.
Was it?
Yeah,
Mhm.
bartenders, BC Nov of the week. You know what I mean? They had some pretty hardcore segments in there. Not, I mean, hardcore, not the sense of hardcore, but they pushed the envelope a little bit because they had to find
they had to find that niche.
They had to find the
Right.
difference between the creative loafing and what the TBT was doing, so they tried to hit it down the middle with the party scene.
Yep.
And that's not enough to draw people, I
No,
guess.
that's true.
Right.
I
Is
know
that
we have.
correct?
Yeah, and particularly advertisers who, some of them say, you know what, I wanted to be in an environment where I'm comfortable having this laying around the office, I'm comfortable having it laying around the home. And that was something we learned early on with TBT, is that people could feel comfortable reading it at work and not feel like, if the boss walks by, I'm going to get in trouble, or if parents come over and it's laying on my coffee table and, I'm going to be in an uncomfortable situation.
I know we
Cool.
have to wrap up soon, but can you tell us some new things TBT might be doing, or some new columns that we might find in TBT?
Give us the scoop.
Sure. We've got Tampa Bay's Ultimate Local Band Guide coming up on March
that's awesome.
9th. Yeah, on March 23rd, I'm sorry. Every week in TBT, we have a profile of a local band, and on March 23rd, we're going to have an aggregate of a lot of those interviews that Julie Garisto does every week, and then we're going to spotlight 10 bands and really blow it out on them. And then later on in April, we're going to have a concert where those 10 bands that are profiled are going to perform at a great show.
Do you find doing continuing stories and bringing people back the next day or the next week and following something that's
Almost like
interested them
sagas,
a
or-
great way to continue to keep readership and build readership as well? Or is it just something that...
Some people really stick with us, and so they do come back and they tell us that, TBT, the tone of it and the short stories are great. We like to give people punchy stories, so to do something that's ongoing, some people would be interested in, but this is going to be a test for us. We're always trying something new. We did our Ultimate Local Bartender Contest this past year, and so we're going to do that again in the summer. And
Well,
have
if
some fun.
somebody wants to get a hold of you or submit a story, perhaps, how can they do that?
They can email me, Kerry, Kerry, @tbt.com, or pick up a copy of TBT. Look inside. There are the phone numbers and email addresses for our staff.
And I don't want to hear any crap that you can't find one, because apparently they're
everywhere.
everywhere.
Next time we see you, Kerry, I want to see you in a Media Talk T-shirt.
All right, you got it.